What's up, everybody? So it's finally happening. Finally, I'm starting my YouTube channel. I'm making my first video right now. This has been long overdue. It's been requested. Every time I go on Instagram Live, someone's telling me, make a YouTube channel. So I'm finally doing it. The reason why I haven't done it earlier, honestly, was just because I was lazy. So I guess I just didn't have the inspiration, but right now it was like, there's no excuse. Like, you have the afternoon free, you can do the YouTube video. So I was thinking about what my first video should be about, and I finally decided that I should read my ancestry DNA test results and compare them to my 23andMe DNA test results. As most of you guys know, I am Dominican. Both my parents were born in the Dominican Republic, but I think it was my great-grandfather on my dad's side. He was born in Spain, and he moved to DR when he was 3. So his genetic makeup, or whatever you want to call it, was Spaniard, but he was raised, in Dominican Republic. My great-grandmother, so it wasn't his wife, it was actually like his maid or something. She was Dominican, but she was black. She passed away when I was 6, so I met her a few times, like when I was really young, and she was black. She was a black woman who was Dominican. As a lot of people seem to not really understand, Dominicans are not a specific race. Some are, so it's hard to explain. We're very mixed people. So there's Dominicans that have pale skin, green eyes, blonde hair. And there's Dominicans that are as dark as the darkest shade of people come. We're not all one thing. You can't expect a Dominican that has pale skin, green eyes, and white, blonde hair or whatever, to identify as black. Some people want to say Dominicans are black. They're not going to identify as black because their experience isn't black. They're not treated like black people are, black and brown people are. And then yes, there are Dominicans that are very dark. Of course they're black. And then there are some that are in denial that are going to lie and act like they don't have any African ancestry because it's a lot of hatred within the country. People just are in denial. One more thing. So I noticed when I look up on YouTube like Dominican ancestry DNA test results, there's a lot of like dislikes, and there'll be like a lot of hate in the comment section. I don't know why everyone, especially people who aren't Dominican, have such strong opinions on what someone else identifies as and someone else's race. Like, people go so hard with Dominicans. One thing I can say that is for sure, and that this is factual, and this is coming from a Dominican, we are not all the same thing. We typically have very similar, I guess, genetic DNA. I don't know what the correct terms are, but genetic breakdowns. Like, we have African, European, Native American ancestry, but it varies. Some people have way more European, some people have way more African, so we don't all look the same. There's not a Dominican look. There really isn't. So I think people have this fixed idea of what a Dominican looks like in their head, and then they get mad when a Dominican didn't. Like, I don't know, whatever. I don't want to rant, but let's get into it. So this is the ancestry results. So Europe South, I am 25%. So Italy and Greece, and the range is 12 to 37%. So I'm somewhere in between that, which is 25. Was I surprised about that? The reason why I'll say I was a little bit surprised, I wasn't surprised that I had it. I was surprised that it was higher in ancestry than Iberian Peninsula. Iberian Peninsula is basically Spain and Portugal. So the fact that I had a little bit higher Greek and Italian ancestry than Spain and Portugal, when my great-grandfather was from Spain, I found that a little bit odd, but whatever. So I have 21% Iberian Peninsula, which is Spain and Portugal, and then 11% Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. I was really surprised by that. So I don't know why Ancestry changed it. It used to say European and have a certain amount, then it would say African and have a certain amount. Right now, it has everything mixed from what I have the most of to what I have the least of. So it goes from Ireland, Scotland, and Wales to Native American, 9%. Which is all of North and South America. They can't tell you specifically where that's from. And I have Senegal, which is in Africa, I have 9%. Cameroon, Congo, I have 8%. Benin, Togo, I hope I'm pronouncing these right, it's 4%, which is also in Africa. Then back to Europe, Great Britain, 4%. And then I have 2% Middle Eastern, 2% African, Southeastern, Bantu, and 2% Asia East. I'm not gonna read the description of all of these, that's just too much. And then Africa North, 2%, and then Europe West, less than 1%. So I have so much stuff running through me. My whole life, I've literally been told that I look like everything. I was just in an Uber last week, and the Uber driver was from India, and he asked me if I was Indian. I went to a Subway probably like 2 months ago, and the guy asked me if I was from Pakistan, and that's where he was from. My whole life, I've gotten, like, when I tell you everything, like, I've literally gotten something in, like, almost, I think, every continent. Like, I've gotten, you know, people think that I'm Dominican, some people think I'm Puerto Rican, Mexican, Colombian, then I'll get black and white, then someone thought I was just white mixed with, like, something else, someone thought I was black mixed with something else. I've gotten Turkish, I've gotten Egyptian, I've gotten all types of things. I had one guy, I think he was Ecuadorian. He thought that I was like black mixed with some type of Asian, he said, or something like that. I was like, what? Like, everyone is so confused with what I am, and it's like, and I used to be so insecure about it too. I used to hate the fact that people couldn't figure out what I was by looking at me. I wanted to be like, you know, when people look at someone, they're like, oh, that's definitely, he's Dominican. I wanted that to be me. I'm like, that's not fair. Like, people in my family, people know what they are. Why can't, you know? But I love it now. This is something that I embrace, and I think is really cool that I can look like a whole bunch of things, especially when I want to get into acting. On top of that, it's like, it's a huge plus. And if you're one of those people that people can't tell what you are, that's a good thing. I look like a lot of things because I am a lot of things. Okay, so now we're on 23andMe. This actually breaks it down by, like, you know, African versus European versus Native American. European 64%, Iberian it says 28.4%, British and Irish 1%, French and German 0.9, Ashkenazi Jewish 0.7, Italian 0.6, Balkan 0.5, and broadly Southern European I have 26.7%, which is broadly Southern European. Then I have broadly European, which is just like literally they can't tell where it's from, they just know it's European, 3.7%, and then broadly Northwestern European 1.5. So I'm just a lot of European running through me. Sub-Saharan African 19.7%. Now I thought I had like 25% African according to Ancestry, so you can see that they're a little different. West African 14.4%. This isn't as specific as Ancestry. I don't like that. Then East African 0.6, African Hunter and Gatherer, which I thought was really fucking cool, 0.3, and then broadly Sub-Saharan African 4.4. And now East Asian and Native American, I have 10.1% here. I think it was 8 or 9% on Ancestry. So Native American 8.5%, and then it has Dominican Republic listed under that. So the natives of DR before the white people came and raped and killed them. I have 8.5% of that DNA. Then I have Southeast Asian 0.3, broadly East Asian 0.2, broadly East Asian and Native American 1%. And then I have Western Asia and Northern African 0.4%. And then I have unassigned 5.8%. So there's 5.8% of me that 23andMe doesn't know where the fuck to put it. Those are my results. I hope that that wasn't too confusing for you guys. As time goes on and as I make more videos, I'll obviously I will become more organized with it. I know I kind of just read and rambled and just went on and on. Hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight as to what I am. Like I said, I'm from the Dominican Republic, and my whole life I've been told that I look like a lot of things, and apparently it's because I am a lot of things. Yeah, so peace out.